are actually invited to live immortally as well. Body of Proof closes with discussions of two final considerations. Dr. Johnston refers to these as the new frontier. First, the more likely of the two most popular supposed physical locations of Jesus' empty burial tomb is discussed in detail. And last, the observation is made and defended that if the early church invented the resurrection story, they did a terrible job of it. All told, this text moves along promptly in setting forth a variety of both historical information as well as applicable lessons. In other words, Dr. Johnston realizes that a solid case for the resurrection involves both head and heart working together. Not only did this message throughout the New Testament move into the deeper waters of careful testimonies of quite real resurrection appearances, but the exceptionally early proclamation of this message transformed lives. Further, the proclamation spread to the areas that reach human hearts, such as the preaching of the gospel, the transformation of the world, and there being a truly sustainable answer to the pithiest problem of human existence by offering life forever. This is a huge task, and Dr. Johnston needs to be given credit for jumping in with both feet and in the process showing the listeners how all these various tasks can be combined in order to bring about a truly beautiful, fully orbed answer to the ongoing quest for truth, meaning, beauty, and peace, even for eternity. Gary R. Habermas, Ph.D., Distinguished Research Professor, Liberty University. Introduction. The 20th century German literary giant and novelist Franz Kafka was fond of saying, "The meaning of life is that it ends." And for most, the end comes all too soon. But then what happens? If a man dies, shall he live again? Job 14:14 is a deeply theological and practical question pondered in the earliest writings of the Old Testament. How we come to answer this question of life after death is a game changer. Unfortunately, far too many Christians are clumsy about their resurrection faith. While numerically stagnate, a majority of American Christians may profess belief in resurrection, but far fewer can, in the cultural vernacular, confidently share the reasons they're confident Jesus rose from the dead. You can test this by asking friends in your next Bible study group meeting to offer more than a "because the Bible told me so" answer for the evidence of Jesus' resurrection. We can look at the example of Great Britain. It's a centuries-old bastion of Christian thought, yet now in modern times the majority of believers flounder in their fundamental understanding of the resurrection. 1 in 4 people who claim to be Christians in the UK even disavow the bodily resurrection of Jesus completely. But this is incongruent with the faith we see reflected in the Bible. When we open the Scriptures, we see that belief in bodily resurrection powered the early church to turn the world upside down. That resurrection faith was the key to their ethics. That resurrection faith brought hope in moments of worldly despair. And that resurrection faith caused the earliest followers of Jesus to become the greatest force for good on planet Earth. Indeed, a staggering 300 verses in the New Testament address the resurrection across its 260 chapters. Author Lee Strobel, my dear friend of many years, often says every single shred of evidence for the resurrection of Jesus Christ is also evidence for my eventual resurrection. And in a death-devastating promise, Jesus guarantees the believer's resurrection. "I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he die, yet he shall live." John 11:25. In 1 Corinthians, the Apostle Paul is crystal clear about the importance of resurrection.